Most cars don't even make it past 100,000 miles. And the crazy part? Dealerships and manufacturers are counting on it. But my car, it just hit 700,000 miles, and I'm about to reveal the 6 habits that got it there. These aren't boring tips. Some are things you do every day that are secretly destroying your engine, brakes, transmission, and fuel system. Stick around, because the very first habit takes just 2 seconds, but it can save you hundreds. And the last one? It could save you thousands in repairs you didn't even know were coming. By the end of this video, you'll drive smarter, spend less, and finally stop your car from dying early. Number 1. Warm up the right way. Idling for 10 minutes every morning is slowly destroying your car. You might think letting your engine warm up by sitting still is harmless, or even good for the vehicle. The truth is, this habit can cause serious damage over time. When your car sits idling, the engine runs at low speed and low temperature. During this time, some fuel doesn't burn completely. This unburned fuel then washes down the cylinder walls. Imagine pouring oil over a machine and then rinsing it off with water. The fuel thins the oil film that normally protects the engine parts. Without a strong oil layer, metal parts rub against each other, causing wear and tear. Fuel contamination also happens inside the engine oil. Fuel mixes with the oil, making it less effective at lubricating and protecting the engine. This leads to faster breakdown of oil and increased engine friction. Over weeks and months, this wears down important engine parts like pistons and rings. Long periods of idling cause soot and sludge to build up inside the engine. This buildup blocks tiny passages that carry oil and coolant. When these pathways get clogged, the engine overheats or suffers from poor lubrication. Both conditions can lead to expensive repairs or even engine failure. Driving warms your engine roughly 8 times faster than idling. When you drive, the engine speed rises, and the oil heats up and flows better. This helps all parts reach the right temperature quickly, reducing wear and fuel waste. Next time you start your car, skip the long idle. Turn the key, wait 30 seconds, then hit the road slowly. This habit will save your engine from unnecessary damage and keep it running smoother for longer. Number 2. Transmission fluid change every 60k miles. Most drivers don't realize their transmission is silently grinding itself to death. You might not hear it or see it, but inside your car's transmission, trouble can be building up fast. Transmission fluid plays a key role in keeping everything running smoothly. When you ignore it, your car could be headed for a disaster that costs thousands of dollars. Over time, transmission fluid breaks down. It loses its ability to cool and lubricate the moving parts inside the transmission. Along with that, tiny bits of clutch dust and metal shavings start to pile up in the fluid. These particles act like sandpaper, wearing down important parts bit by bit. By the time you notice any symptoms, like slipping gears, rough shifting, or strange noises, it often means major damage has already happened. Fixing these problems usually means a rebuild that can cost $4,000 or more. The right habit to protect your transmission is straightforward. Drain and refill your transmission fluid every 60,000 miles. For hybrid vehicles, this interval extends to about 90,000 miles because their systems handle heat differently. Always use the fluid recommended by the vehicle manufacturer, OEM fluid, because it meets specific standards designed for your transmission. Avoid flushing transmissions that have been neglected for a long time. Flushing old dirty fluid can cause more harm than good by dislodging clumps of debris that then block passages inside the transmission. Keeping up with transmission fluid changes is one of the best ways to extend the life of your car. It may seem like a small task, but the payoff is huge when you avoid costly repairs and keep your vehicle running smoothly. Next up, even if your transmission is in great shape, your brakes might be silently losing life. Number 3. Upgrade to quality spark plugs. This $60 part could save your $3,000 engine. Yes, I'm talking about your spark plugs. They might seem small and simple, but cheap or worn-out spark plugs can cause major damage that costs thousands of dollars to fix. Let me explain why ignoring or skimping on spark plugs is a huge risk for your engine. When spark plugs wear down or don't work right, your engine starts to misfire. That means one or more cylinders aren't firing properly, causing rough idling and poor performance. At first, you might just notice your car feels jerky or struggles to accelerate. But if you keep driving with bad plugs, the damage gets worse. One big problem is that misfires send unburned fuel into the exhaust system. This can fry your catalytic converter, a part that often costs over $1,000 to replace. Imagine your car's exhaust system overheating because of a tiny spark plug that failed to do its job. That's the kind of chain reaction you want to avoid. Worn spark plugs can also lead to melted pistons. If a spark plug fires late or weakly, fuel can ignite inside the cylinder at the wrong time. This causes extreme heat and pressure, sometimes melting parts of the piston. When pistons melt, the engine can seize up completely, meaning a full rebuild or replacement is the only option. Another issue is burned ignition coils. Coils work hard to send voltage to your spark plugs. When plugs aren't firing properly, coils have to work harder, leading to overheating and failure. Replacing coils is pricey and often tied to spark plug problems. The right habit is simple. Check your spark plugs around 60,000 miles or according to your vehicle's manual. Stick to high-quality brands like NGK, Denso, or the original equipment manufacturer's recommendations. Don't wait for plugs to fail completely. Replace them before they cause trouble. Taking care of this small part can protect your engine and save you from costly repairs down the road. Number 4. Stop topping of gas tank. That extra squeeze after the pump clicks could cost you up to $900 in repairs. Sounds shocking, right? But that little habit of topping off your gas tank can actually cause serious damage to your car. Let's talk about why. When you keep pumping gas even after the nozzle clicks off, you risk flooding your vehicle's evaporative emission control system, or EVAP system. This system is designed to catch fuel vapors and keep them from escaping into the air. Overfilling sends liquid fuel where it doesn't belong. Instead of just vapors, liquid gas backs up into sensors, valves, and the charcoal canister. Imagine pouring water into a sponge until it can hold no more and starts dripping everywhere. Your charcoal canister works a bit like that sponge. It soaks up fuel vapors to keep them from polluting the environment. But when liquid fuel floods it, the canister becomes soaked and stops working properly. Replacing a soaked charcoal canister can set you back hundreds of dollars. Then there are the sensors and valves in the EVAP system. These parts are sensitive and rely on vapor, not liquid, to function correctly. Flooding them with fuel can cause sensors to fail or valves to clog. When that happens, your car's check engine light might come on, your fuel efficiency drops, and you could even fail an emissions test. Fixing or replacing these parts is not cheap, sometimes costing several $100s. So what's the right way to fill your tank? When the pump clicks off, stop. Walk away. Don't squeeze the handle again. Your car's fuel system is designed to shut off automatically at the right fuel level. Trust it. Overfilling isn't just wasting fuel, it's risking costly repairs. Next time you're at the pump, keep this in mind. Stop as soon as it clicks. Treat your car right, and it will reward you with better performance and fewer trips to the mechanic. And here's a heads up for the next tip. Ignoring this could ruin your transmission. Number 5, oil change rule. Your dealer's 10,000-mile oil change is slowly cooking your engine. That sounds harsh, but it's true. Following the manufacturer's long oil change intervals can cause serious damage under the hood. Let me explain what really happens when you stretch those oil changes too far. When oil sits in your engine past its prime, it starts to break down. Over time, old oil turns thick and sticky, creating sludge. This sludge clogs up tiny oil passages that carry lubricant to essential parts like pistons and bearings. Without smooth oil flow, these components rub against each other, causing wear and tear much faster than normal. I've seen engines where sludge buildup was so bad, the pistons were actually damaged. One car I worked on had overheated because the clogged oil passages couldn't cool the engine properly. The result? A repair bill of several $1,000s to replace pistons, clean out sludge, and fix damaged parts. That's not just inconvenient, it's expensive and avoidable. Think of your engine like a fine piece of machinery that needs clean, fresh oil to run smoothly. Running it on old, dirty oil is like trying to cook a steak in a pan coated with burnt grease. The heat builds up, things stick, and eventually the whole meal is ruined. For regular drivers, the smart habit is to change oil every 3,000 miles if you use conventional oil, or every 5,000 to 7,000 miles if you use full synthetic. Synthetic oils last longer because they resist breaking down, but even they have limits. Keep in mind that how you drive affects oil life too. Stop-and-go traffic, short trips where the engine never fully warms up, and extreme temperatures all speed up oil breakdown. If you mostly drive in the city or take short drives, you should change your oil more often than the usual recommended interval. Number 6. Always use your parking brake. Skipping the e-brake could cost you $2,000 to $800 in repairs. That's right, something as simple as forgetting to pull your parking brake can lead to serious damage to your car's transmission. When you park your car without setting the parking brake, the entire weight of the vehicle presses down on a small part inside the transmission called the parking powell. This powell is a tiny metal piece designed to lock your transmission in place when you put the car in park. But it is not made to hold the full weight of the car on its own. Without the e-brake taking some of the load, the powell has to do all the work. Imagine parking your car on a hill without the parking brake. The powell is forced to hold the entire vehicle up. Over time, this puts enormous stress on the powell and the surrounding parts. The metal can weaken, crack, or even shatter. When that happens, your transmission can be seriously damaged, leading to costly repairs that often exceed $2,000, sometimes even more depending on your vehicle. So, what's the right way to avoid this? Always use your parking brake before you shift into park. This goes for parking uphill, downhill, or even on a flat surface. The parking brake takes the weight off the transmission pawl, protecting it from damage. By making this a habit, you save yourself from unexpected repairs and keep your transmission in good shape. To do this correctly, first pull up your parking brake firmly. Once the car's weight is held by the brake, shift your gear into park. This sequence helps protect the transmission from unnecessary stress. When you're ready to drive, release the parking brake after shifting out of park.